Walk into Bass Pro on a Saturday morning with your kid and tell the man in the vest you want to get the family fishing. Watch what happens. He is going to be helpful. He is going to be knowledgeable. And by the time you walk out, you will have 2 rod and reel combos, a spool of line, a tackle box, and enough hooks and weights to actually use them. And you will have spent somewhere between $300 and $400. Now drive to Costco. Sitting on a wooden pallet between the patio furniture and the paper towels is a cardboard box for about $80, and inside that box is the exact same outcome. 2 complete outfits, line already on both of them, a tackle box with the tackle already in it, 2 people on the water this afternoon for $80. That is what this video is about, and I want to be very clear about the comparison, because accuracy matters more to me than a clean story. Bass Pro is not selling this identical box for $400. Nobody is robbing you on one item. The $400 is what it costs to assemble that same outcome, one piece at a time, at a specialty counter. 2 decent combos, line, a box, and enough terminal tackle to fish. That is the tax, and it is not on the price sticker. It is in the process. No sponsor, no brand worship, and nobody paid for a single word of this. Let's get into it. Start with what is actually in that $80 box, because if it were junk, this video would not exist. It is the Ugly Stik family fishing combo, and Costco has been running it at $79.97, down from $99.99. And it has been spotted in more than 500 Costco warehouses, which for a seasonal fishing item is remarkable distribution. Inside you get a 6'6" medium spinning combo, already spooled with 10-pound line, and that is a genuinely usable adult bass and walleye setup, not a toy. You get a 5'6" spin cast combo, spooled with 6-pound line, which is the push button rig you hand a kid. And you get a size 3500 tackle box with a tray of Berkeley terminal tackle already in it, hooks, weights, and baits. And the rods are not filler. Both of them are Ugly Stik, which is Shakespeare, and they have been building these since 1976. That means ugly tech blanks, graphite wrapped in fiberglass, and the famous clear tip. This is the Rod Charter Guide's hand to clients on purpose, because it survives trucks, kids, piers, and oceans. So what is in that box is not a knockoff of real fishing gear. It is real fishing gear, boxed together. And let me explain why there are 2 different kinds of reel in that box, because most people do not know the difference, and it is genuinely the most useful thing I can tell a beginner. The spin cast is the push button one, the closed face reel, where the line hides under a cone and you press a button with your thumb to cast. It is nearly impossible to tangle, which is why it is the right reel for a child or for anybody who has not fished since they were 1. The spinning reel is the open-faced one, where you flip a metal bail over by hand. It takes about 10 minutes to learn, and it casts farther, handles heavier fish better, and it is what you will still be using in 20 years. So that box is not 2 of the same thing. It is a beginner's reel and a grown-up's reel, deliberately. So 2 different people can fish the same afternoon at the same skill level they actually have. Somebody thought about that. And here's the other thing a combo quietly does for you that nobody explains. Matching a rod to a reel is a real skill. The reel has to be the right size for the rod's power. The line rating on the rod has to match what you spool, and getting that wrong is how people end up with a setup that casts badly and never feels right, without ever understanding why. When you buy a combo, somebody who does this for a living already made those decisions. For an experienced angler, that is a limitation. For everybody else, it is the entire value. Now let me do the math on the other side, because this is what this channel actually exists for. Walk the specialty counter and price it out honestly. A decent name brand spinning combo, the kind the guy in the vest will hand you, sits somewhere around $100 to $150. That is one outfit. Now you need a second one, because the whole point was to take somebody with you. So that is another $100 to $150. Line for both, $20 to $30. A tackle box, $25 to $40. And then enough hooks, weights, bobbers, and soft plastics to actually fish with, which is another $50 to $100 by the time you are done walking that wall. Add it up. $300 at the absolute floor. $400 is completely normal. And every single one of those decisions felt reasonable when you made it. And here is why that room is so good at this. And I want to say it fairly, because Bass Pro is not the villain in a cartoon. That store is beautiful. There is an aquarium. There is a mounted bear. The lighting is warm, and the wood is real. And a man who genuinely knows fishing is walking you through it, and he is not lying to you. But you are assembling a setup, one item at a time, in an environment designed to make each individual, yes, feel small. $20 here, $30 there. Nobody ever says $400 out loud. The box at Costco says $80 on the outside, and that is the entire conversation. One honest ground rule before we count, because this channel does not do brand hate. The premium combos genuinely are better. Lighter in the hand, smoother on the retrieve, better components, and a finish that still looks good in year 5. If you are on the water 150 days a year, buy the good one and never look back. And one honest warning about Costco specifically, because I am not going to sell you a fantasy. It is a club. A membership runs around $65 a year. And if you are not already a member, do not join for a fishing kit. I am going to name the Walmart equivalents in this list too. And Costco fishing stock is seasonal, and it varies warehouse to warehouse, so what your neighbor found in June may simply not be there this week. Counting down from 5. Number 5. The one that started almost everybody watching this. The Zebco 33 combo, around $25. This exact push-button reel has been in continuous production since 1954. 70 years. Almost nothing in any American store survives 70 years of continuous production without earning it. It cannot backlash, it cannot bird's nest, and a 7-year-old can cast it in the first 10 seconds without a single lesson. Entangles are the #1 reason kids quit fishing and never come back. And think about what 70 years of continuous production actually proves. This sport is full of gimmicks that arrive with a commercial and disappear in 3 seasons. The 33 has outlasted every single one of them, unchanged in any way that matters, because it does one job perfectly, and it does not pretend to do anything else. The fair caveat: you will outgrow it, and that was never the job. The job is the first cast. Buy one for every kid in the family, and you have still spent less than one premium combo. Number 4. The single bomb-proof outfit. The Ugly Stik GX2 combo. Around $50 to $60 at Walmart. This is the rod that will not die. Graphite wrapped in fiberglass. The clear tip that bends instead of snapping. And a 7-year written warranty on a $50 rod, which tells you what the company itself expects it to survive. Real owner reviews on this thing are unreal. One man wrote that his professional fisherman friend could not believe a $40 pole fished that well. Another said a catfish rod got slammed in a tailgate and simply did not break. And that clear tip is not a gimmick, by the way. That translucent section at the end of the rod is fiberglass rather than graphite. And fiberglass bends much further before it breaks. That is the whole trick. When somebody high sticks a fish at the boat, which is the single most common way a rod dies, the Ugly Stik just keeps bending. The fair caveat: durability costs you sensitivity. It is a tank, not a scalpel, and you will miss the very lightest taps. But if you only trust one outfit to survive real life, this is it. Number 3, and this is the enthusiast move. Build it yourself. Buy the Ozark Trail. OTX spinning rod, verified at about $35, and put a budget reel on it. That rod is an IM7 graphite blank with a cork split grip and stainless guides, which is the same modulus class of carbon as rods costing 3 times more, and it has no famous logo on it at all. Add a Pfluger or Okuma class reel, and you are around $70 for a setup that outperforms any prepackaged combo at the price. The fair caveat is that you are assembling it, so quality control is on you. Flex the rod in the store and check every guide. But if you actually care about how a rod feels in your hand, this is the $70 I would spend. Number 2, the upgrade hiding in the same warehouse. The Ugly Stik Elite combo pack, which Costco has run at around $65, though prices there move constantly. So treat that as a signal and not a promise. And that word, elite, matters. This is not the plain Ugly Stik. The Elite blank carries more graphite, which makes it noticeably lighter and more sensitive. And it wears a real cork handle instead of foam. Cork is the handle material of the $300 wall. The fair caveat: it keeps some of that famous Ugly Stik softness, so it is not a fast tournament stick. But an upgraded rod, with a matched reel already on it, for the price of a nice dinner, is arithmetic that only happens in a warehouse. And number 1, the box this whole video is named after. The Ugly Stik Family Fishing Combo. $79.97. And here is why it beats everything else on this list. And it is not the rods. It is the arithmetic of what it replaces. Every other item on this list outfits one person. This one outfits 2, and it hands them the tackle to actually use. Think about what that means on a Saturday. There is no trip to a second store for line. There is no standing at a wall of hooks trying to guess what size to buy. You open the box in the driveway, you go, and both of you are fishing within the hour. The fair caveat, and it is an important one, that pre-spooled line is a starter and not a promise. It has been sitting on those spools under tension through a warehouse summer, and line goes brittle with age and heat. Re-spool it before you trust it on a real fish, and that is a $9 fix. But as the single fastest way to take a family from owning nothing to fishing this weekend, nothing in American retail comes close. And there is one more thing in that Costco box that does not appear on the packaging at all. The receipt. Costco's satisfaction guarantee has no expiration date on most items. No questions asked. And it is famously forgiving about things that have obviously been used. Bass Pro gives you 60 days, 90 if you pay for their club, and if the gear shows it has been out on the water, it will not qualify. For fishing gear, the one category guaranteed to get wet, sandy, and abused, that difference is not small. At that store, the receipt is the warranty. So here is the uncomfortable question. If $80 puts 2 people on the water with real Ugly Stik rods and a stocked tackle box, what exactly is the other $300 buying? A nicer room to stand in. A conversation with a man who knows his stuff. Slightly lighter rods that a weekend angler will never feel the difference on. And the quiet, expensive habit of saying yes to one more small thing 11 times in a row. The fish waiting under that dock does not know which room your rod came from, and it does not care what the total was. And there is a second cost to that $400 that nobody talks about, and it is the one I actually care about. It is the people who never start. Somebody walks into that store on a Saturday, genuinely intending to get their family fishing. They see what a real setup costs for 2 people, they do the math in their head, and they quietly decide to do it next year. And next year they do it again. That is the real price of assembling a hobby, one expensive piece at a time. An $80 box on a pallet removes that entire conversation. Nobody has to be talked into anything, and nobody has to go home and think about it. If it were my money, here is exactly how I would do it. If I am starting a family fishing, the $80 box, once, and everybody is on the water by the weekend. If I only need one outfit, and I want it to survive being handed to anybody, the Ugly Stik GX2. And if I actually care how the rod feels, I skip the combos entirely, and I build the Ozark trail rod with a decent reel for about $70. All three of those together still cost less than outfitting 2 people at the specialty counter. And here is the 60-second check before you pay. And it works on any combo in any store. Flex the rod against your palm and watch it come back, because a good blank recovers in one clean motion with no wobble. Run a finger through every guide insert feeling for a crack or a burr, because a cracked insert saws through line all day, and you will never know why you keep breaking off. Screw the reel seat down tight and check for any wobble in the hoods. Turn the reel handle slowly and listen for grit instead of feeling for speed. And re-spool that pre-spooled line before the first serious trip. 60 seconds, 5 checks, and an $80 box will outfish a $400 afternoon.